Hello FlossTube, my name is Sarah. I'm from Memphis and this is my channel about cross stitch. Welcome, welcome. Today is Thursday, February the 27th, and y'all, I have big news, big finishes. Actually, the finish would usually be like this FFO would be the biggest topic for me to talk about today. However, I have something that beats that at this point. So today I've got some big news, I've got some finishes, whips, I have a giveaway winner, some stitchy kindness, little bit of haul, little bit of needlepoint, little bit of stitching, couple new starts. I'm going to speed this right along and hop right to it because I have a jam-packed schedule today. So forgive me if I miss something. I'll catch it up next time. I just really wanted to touch base with you today. By the time you see this tomorrow, it will be Friday, and I will be basically one day away from owning my very own and having possession of my very own LNS here in Memphis. So, right? Super exciting. I'm so excited. Here in Memphis, we've had an LNS for the past 30 years called Stitchers Inc. And the owner, Jan Wentz, is fantastic. And Jan is retiring. And I've been working with Jan for some time on this. And I am the new shop owner. I'm changing the name a little bit. I am tweaking the hours. I'm doing some renovations, but I'm going to continue to stay in the same location, which is a Poplar and Yates location, which is a pretty good centralized location in Memphis. And I'm going to be doing some sprucing up and reorganizing and all of the things. And y'all, I am over the moon. So excited. Probably 2 weeks ago now, I gave notice at both of my jobs. So I am officially not doing MRI anymore, not in the medical field anymore. I feel just honored and blessed that Jan has trusted this continuation of this LNS here in Memphis with me, and I get to do something that I'm very passionate about. So, what does that mean for my stitching the last couple weeks? It means I have not had as much time to stitch, no doubt, because I am in the middle of doing everything from inspections from the city and utilities and, you know, ordering things and leases. Commercial leases are a whole different beast than if you've ever rented an apartment or something. So yeah, it's been pretty wild. It's been pretty wild, but it is starting to, this phase of it is starting to wrap up, and tomorrow will be Jan's last day in the shop. Jan has a partner, as we so often do at work, and I tease them that they're Lucy and Ethel, and that's Billy, and they're great, and they usually do. They're those things where like they finish each other's sentences, you know, the whole thing. They usually share a little lunch on Fridays. So it's very bittersweet, but I hope that they stay involved in the shop and come in and hang out. And I mean, I'm going to have Jan on speed dial for sure. Probably Billy too, because she remembers a lot of things. I am super lucky that the other employee of Stitchers Inc., Terry, she's been there 18 years now, and she is passionate about needlepoint. She's going to be staying with me, so thank goodness. It's going to be a two-man crew to start with. So yeah, things are going to be just wild, especially as you all know that we have Nashville Needlework Market coming up next week, and I will be shopping for my first time at the Needlework Market as a buyer, so that's exciting too. I'm still going to go up and help Leanne from Forbidden Fiber Co. set up and take down her room and all of those good things, but my good buddy Christy from the Salty Stitcher, she's local to Memphis here too. She's going to take my place and help Leanne and Zan run the room this year while I'm out, you know, burning up that card. Doing all the shopping, doing all of the things. So super excited. Kind of a different approach than maybe a traditional approach to market for me this year, because I'm going to be closed for a few weeks and I have to wait on things like a certificate from the city, and I don't have an exact reopen date. I didn't open myself up wide to a bunch of pre-orders because, you know, I'm basically just going to buy some fun things for the shop. I do have a few stitchers that have come in the shop that have requested certain things, and I'm going to pick those up for them. But hopefully next year I'll be able to do pre-orders for everybody, and, you know, it'll be probably a more traditional market adventure this year is just going to be kind of checking everything out and figuring out how this works. Yeah, so I'm so excited. I hope you will follow along in my adventure. My friend Julie, Kansas City Girl in the Colorado World, she suggested that I vlog a lot of this stuff because there is going to be hopefully a significant transformation of the shop itself. And so I am going to try to work on that. Y'all know I'm not that great at vlogging, but I am going to take video and pictures and things to share. And I've been posting very regularly. I've added a new social media account. So I'm already on Instagram as Memphis Sarah E. My new shop is Stitchers Memphis. So I have a new Instagram account, Stitchers Memphis. I have a TikTok account, Stitchers Memphis. And on Saturday, March 1st, I will have a Facebook business page, Stitchers Memphis. So follow me on all of the places for all of the updates. And I'm so excited. I mean, I love this community and so grateful and so blessed and so just over the moon to be doing this, I mean, there's a million things to be excited about right now as far as what's going on with stitching. And this is a big one for me. So yes, yay. All right. So yeah, so I've got like a mirror behind me. I mean, this room is, y'all, it's crazy. I found this at an antique store. So for the bathroom, yeah, it's stuff like that all over the house. And we're going to be doing inventory all over the house because we're going to do floors and stuff. So we have to get everything out of there. And there's a lot in there. There is a lot in there. It is a full service shop as far as like, you know, threads and floss and all of the things, cross stitch and needlepoint. So there's lots of goodies in there after 30 years. Okay. So my second biggest news, because you can't really believe there would be something to outshadow this news. Sir Thomas is back from the framer. All right, so if you've been following along with me, you know that I started Sir Thomas of Glendon Place a few years ago. Last year, I got kind of reinvigorated with some friends, and we cut him into little bits, and we took him a chunk at a time, a month, and of course, I got behind, imagine that, and rushed to the finish line right at the end of the year. But here he is, and he's back from the framer. And I didn't want to unwrap him because he is going to be a model in the shop. But you see that pretty, pretty frame. It looks so good with the colors. It really does, y'all. He's so handsome. He's so handsome. I love him. I'm excited to see him every day at work. And yeah, it's just... Let's get him in there. And I know I've got this stack over here, so I'm not able to show you super well, but yeah. Oops. I didn't mean to be having his price tag on there, but I love it. I love it. He's so good. He's so good. He was so much fun to stitch. I stitched him using called for everything. An even weave fabric, beads, like the Rainbow Gallery Silk Lame, the metallics, the Sullivan's floss. All of that came in a pack from Cheryl from Glendon Place. And I have another Glendon Place going, of course, the eggs. So the eggs will get the focus next. But I love stitching Sir Thomas. I tell you, my daughter is not a cross stitcher, nor is she a fan. And I was teasing and saying that is probably the only thing out of all of my stitching that I can feel like will not end up at Salvation Army because my daughter loves Thanksgiving. So she'll want that turkey. The rest of this stuff, who knows? Who knows? Okay, so let me show you another one. I finished this one a long time ago. I mean, a while ago. But I wanted to do this for a shop model too. This is a Plum Street sampler. Oh my gosh, what is the name of this? I'm going to have to put it down in the thing. It's something about sisters. There's a set of 3, and I just love this. I had so much fun stitching it. This pretty color is Wisconsin Woods. It's an overdyed. It's probably, I think it's Classic Colorworks. It's either Classic Colorworks or Gentle Arts, but there's a series of 3, and I have all of them, and I'd like to do all 3 of them. So, but I just think I love these. I love Paulette's early kind of spooky charts. They're really good. So good. So good. And last but certainly not least of my framing that came back, I've still got one out there. This was my oldest whip, right? This was the one that, I mean, I started this one in, I think it was October, maybe? No, I don't remember. It was in 2020. So I started stitching in June of 2020. Maybe this was even July of 2020. It's Happy Haunts by Good Morning Maui. Actually, I'm going to pause the video for just a second. Okay, sorry. I wanted to take that plastic wrap off this one because this one will not be a shop model. It is not something that I can order and sell in the shop. This was an online pattern by Good Morning Maui called Happy Haunts. It represents the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney. These are the lyrics to the ride. It's wonderful. Now, you might think it's kind of odd, the color I ended up choosing for the frame, because it is a green, okay? But I went in there with the idea like I was going to get something very gothic, black, ornate, and everything that I put up to it, even a plain black frame, just was a very, very stark, very severe against my stitching, and just it wasn't showing it off very well at all. I tried some purples, I tried some reds, I tried some blues, but I just couldn't find quite the right color blue. So Terry that was helping me look at the frames, there's a lot of green in this chart actually. Yeah. So that's what I ended up with. And it looks really, really great in person. I stitched this on, I think it's a 16 count Graceful Gray Ada. And this is called for DMC. I'm so happy to have this done. I love this so much. This is going to hang at home and in my stitchy room year round, and then come out to play during Halloween. So I love it. I love it. All right. Those were all of my framed FFOs. Now, I do have another FFO, but it's a partial FFO. Now, what does that mean, right? Who has a partial FFO? Me. Me. All right, so what I'm talking about are these berry baskets by Hands On Design. Here's my berries. There's a strawberry and a blueberry and a blackberry. And I worked on these Super Bowl. And I learned a lot. I'm going to tell you a few things that I learned about this. There were very specific instructions on the chart, and I made my little tissue paper pattern, and I cut these out, and I sewed it, and all the things, all of that went well. Now, the first one I started with was my strawberry. And what I learned from strawberry was, I don't love the tip of the strawberry. Now, we all know berries are not perfect, and they're lumpy and dumpy and shaped weird, and this is going to be my bowl of berries, so I'm trying not to get too hung up on being perfect, okay? So I don't love the tip of this one because I didn't do something. First, I learned after doing this one, I used this super great tool I got from Benzie Designs, this little stuffer thing, okay? But I learned that in order to get down in these really small tips, you don't want to put a bunch of your polyfill in. Like, you just want to do a little amount so you can really get it down in there and really fill that in if that's the look that you're going for. The other thing I learned about with this strawberry, which it is cute, it's very cute, is that I do not like mine stuffed really hard, because the more I was packing in here, and I mean, you can pack and pack and pack and pack, and I'm still trying to kind of work with it and get this straightened out, but like, it's kind of lumpy, you know, like right through here, I can see like a little lumpy bumpy, okay? It's nicer up here where I kind of gave it a break a little bit, but so I personally prefer less stuffing, because when I used less stuffing in these other ones, I was able to get a more, it's still nice and full, it's not, but it's just more straight, and I like the look better. I did a little bit better on the ends of those, but here's where the party, here's where it ends. So I'm trying to work on the tops, the berry tops. I ordered per Kathy's like pattern information that from Benzie and I'll put that in the description below. These pre-cut felt berry toppers, right? And I ordered a pack of like 3 different greens in different sizes. And I thought I would kind of mix and match. And I have them on here, you know, and I'm trying to follow her directions and tack them down. And I just don't like the way they're coming out like that. So I would put some stitches in, tack it down. And she even has hers kind of like bent, like they're not like, they don't like kind of like flat like this. They just kind of, they're tucked in and bent like this, and then they kind of curl under. I just couldn't get it to look the way I wanted it to. So I'm either going to go back and reread and pay very, very close attention to her instructions, which are listed on the Hands-On Design website under like, I think it's under the blog part. It's like a story walk or something like that that she calls it, where it's not a video or anything, but it's step-by-step instructions. Or am I just going to like lightly try to tack it down more at the top and let it just kind of poke out? And I don't know. I just got kind of overwhelmed. And then I got busy with shop stuff. And since I couldn't get this to look like I wanted it to, it's been sitting next to my sewing machine on the table for weeks now. So I have to make a decision and buckle down and, you know, really finish these. So we'll see. Maybe next time I see you, they'll be done. I'd like to use them as models in the shop because the charts are super cute and it's such a fun idea. And I had so much fun doing this stitch along with Jen and everyone else that joined in. So yeah, so far so good, but definitely not finished. Okay. That was it for my FFOs and finishes. My stitching was not terrible right after I filmed this last video, but it just kind of has gone downhill since. Been too busy at night, you know, ordering things and doing all this stuff. But like basically immediately after I finished my last floss tube, I got up and I pulled my stuff together and I went and started this Nature's Journey. This is a stitch along in the Just Cross Stitch edition, the spring 2025 edition. This is a stitch along, and this design is by Sprouting Lupine. And I fell in love immediately, and I made my friends Leanne and Zan fall in love immediately. Leanne has started hers. I don't think Zan has, but I started mine right after I got finished talking to you all. So here's where I am. And I didn't get a ton done. I just hurt a needle. That's why I looked down like that. But I got to start. I had some counting errors already in that flower, and I just kind of fudged them because it's okay. I will not count off of that flower for anything, and it's going to be all right. I'm stitching this on a piece of flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. It looks like a 32 count, I would think. Because, am I doing 2 strands? Let me get my glasses on and see. See, it's been a while since I touched this, unfortunately. Yeah, this is 32 count. 32 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit, one of my favorite Fox and Rabbit colors. Helen D, East Coast Crafter, she has a huge amount done on hers already. It's fantastic. But I love this. I love this. I love these robin's eggs. I'm so excited to get to them. I'm super excited about this stitch along. So, yay, that's one. Oh, and it is living. I found this fun bag in my stash. This is a bag from Tara, the 805 Stitcher. And I just think it's so cute with these hedgehogs and these little toadstools. You can find Tara on Etsy as the 805 Stitcher. She has fabulous bags. Okay, so hopefully get back to that one soon. I have not followed along with my stitching plans. Just so you know, all those plans that I was telling you about, this for this week, all these focus pieces, they're not happening right now. I have great hopes that they will happen soon, but just not quite yet. All right, another start. This was like a celebration start for a particularly memorable night in this journey. I've been wanting to start this. This is a Riolis kit, and it is called Snowfall in the Forest. And there we go. Riolis. I'm pretty sure I got this on 123 Stitch a long time ago. It comes with a really fantastically, look at this chart. Yeah. It's fantastic. I know you can't really get anything off of that. That would be mind-blowing if you could. And it comes with all of these wool acrylic threads, which I do enjoy using now. I highly recommend, if you ever stitch one of these realist kits, you invest in an inexpensive needle threader. It will save the day. No licking floss or bending over floss to put it on here. This is my favorite kind of needle threader. Loran makes a brand, and then there's a bunch of kind of cheaper knockoffs too. I stuck one of these really cute, oh, what do you call this? Scissor fob on here. That this is something that Stephanie Cade's Crafts made and took to Stitch North and gave it to my friend Zan to send home for me. So thanks, Stephanie. I'm using it. That way I don't lose my threader. And this is living in one of my, another 805 Stitcher bag. I love New Orleans. Yes, yes. Beautiful. Okay, so this is my tiny start. Okay, that's all we've got going, but I put a start into it. I'm using that crunchy Ada that came with the kit, all the kit stuff. Got it on my square round nurge. Yeah, it's fun. Actually, it's pretty, since it's big, it's like 14 count. I can see it really well, and the pattern is that bright color that you saw. I'm keeping it down there by my bed, so sometimes if I'm still with it enough at night, I'll be able to stitch on that. Okay, another start. Maybe my last start was I finally did get this started. I'll put the picture up here. The Water Garden Mandala Stitch Along. Yes, I did get a start in it. I'm stitching it on this beautiful blush fabric by Oak Crown Studios. I mean, did I show you all this last time? Let me see. Hold on just a minute. No, I showed you this last time. So you've seen this. This isn't a new start. In fact, I probably didn't even stitch on it, but because I've already got it out, I'm going to talk about it anyway. Yeah, it's on a beautiful blush fabric by Oak Crown Studios. I'm using all of the called for gorgeous things like DMCs, my NPI silks, water lilies, pretty delicate beads, kitted up by European Cross Stitch. Even though they're European Cross Stitch, they are in the US, and I would highly recommend, as hard as it is to source some of these things and to know what subs for what, because some of these patterns for chatelaines are quite old, save yourself some time and energy and use the services provided by European Cross Stitch would be my recommendation. Okay, what else did I work on? All right. This one, I love this bag by my friend Tammy, Creative Country Girl. This is Buddy the Elf by Good Morning Maui. She took my finish and made it into a cool project bag for me. Super cute project bag. I did a tiny bit of work on this one. This is Plum Street Samplers Christmas Mini Moon. This is my full moon stitch that I stitched with my full moon stitching friends, Julie, Karen, and Julie. I got a little bit more done, y'all. Just a little bit more done on this wonky tree. I love this tree. This is a 36 count salt, or a 40. It's 36 or a 40, maybe a 40. Salt Bush by Fox and Rabbit. I love this color. It's so nice. So nice. And I love this chart. Well, I'm just going to work on it a little bit every full moon. This last month's full moon was called the Snow Moon. I love that. I thought that was neat. All right, I've been working on this guy. I'm going to tell you what, I really wanted to have him done before market. Doubtful, because this was one of the things I was most excited about when to have gotten from market last year. This is the Animal Cracker series by Stacey Nash Bobbin. I joined in on Tara Sullivan, Sully Stitches. She had a good thing during the Super Bowl. Stand-up bowl, I think is what she called it. And it was basically like start or work on anything that could be made into a stand-up. So that was fun. And there's that sweet guy. I'm stitching this on the called for fabric, which is a 36 count needle bling fabric in the color suede. And isn't he coming along cute? He is. I'm using all the called for fancy floss. I like this needle minder. It's very strong. You see my scissors are stuck to the back here. I got this needle minder from Jenny of Cricklewood Crossing. I'm very excited to see Jenny at market this next week. Very exciting. Haven't seen her in a while, since maybe a StitchCon or two ago. Bobbin's goodies are in this really fun portfolio by Melissa, Sheba Designs. I love dinosaurs, and this is that Tula Pink dinosaur fabric that's so fantastic, that Roar line. So all of Bobbin's things are in this little portfolio, and actually Bobbin's my travel piece. He's going with me wherever I go. He's a little small count-wise, but I'm making it work. So let me stick him in another pile because he'll go to the shop with me in a little bit. Oh, I did have something exciting happen. I just found a needle on my calendar. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I did have something else exciting happen. Kind of like a finish for now. My Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings, hashtag Halloween at HRH sale that I'm doing with a bunch of friends. I've been working on this middle piece for like the last year at least, because I've given this a very little attention. And I decided this year I was going to work on it when I Zoomed with people for this, and on the 13th and the 31st. And so after this last Zoom, didn't really turn out because everybody ended up being sick or something was going on. I still stitched, and I finished the middle block, and I'm so excited. So this is what we're looking like now. Middle block is completely finished. Here are, can I get it up close? Yeah, I didn't have a problem stitching the middle block. I really enjoyed stitching it. It's just, I've just been piddling around with this one and not really giving it much attention this past year. I did make a change on this block. This is the only change I've made to date with the color in this. Gary from GaRon Stitchery, when I saw his in person, he had changed the hair color on the witches because it just kind of blended into everything else. And I chose a variegated floss, I think it's a one-of-a-kind. It is a one-of-a-kind floss from Forbidden Fiber Co. called Chameleon, but it's like you can see it's got some different colors in it. So I just wanted to add a little bit more interest in their hair. So that's the only thing I've changed, probably the only thing I will change. But yeah, I should have gotten that big board that I have up, but I didn't get it out. Let me see if I can. I think when I go back through at the end, I'm going to have to do some manipulating of some of my back stitching for spider webs and such, but that's where we are now, and I just love it. I just love it. And this is on a piece of 32 count Heather by Picture This Plus. I can't wait for this to be able to hang in the shop someday too. Won't that be fun? Love it, love it. So I'll be working on that next month. Okay, here's another stitch along. The stitch along that I'm hosting with my friends Leanne and Zan. This is hashtag Sleigh Ride Sal 2025. Our chart is by Praiseworthy Stitches Sleigh Ride, and I'm still on part 2, which was January. I just have not. I haven't devoted a lot of time to it. I've worked some, basically you can see where I started on the bell area. I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count Silent Night by Forbidden Fiber Co. I'm using some B5200 DMC Floche just because I really wanted more coverage than I was getting with the others. Or actually, I can't say that. I tested it on a corner, but I planned pretty much from the get-go this was going to be what I was going to use, the Floche, and I'm enjoying using it. It's working really nice. So I don't have anything really new to add about this one this time. We talked about this Krynic situation last time, and I gave you my opinion on what I would do if I hadn't started it yet, which is I would choose a Rainbow Gallery Silk Lame, or maybe even a Petite Entice, or even a Petite Treasure Braid for those, because the blending filament is not fun to work with. Because we actually had a snow day or two, I put some time in on Marty the Christmas Moose, hashtag Marty the Christmas Moose Sal. He's really just called Christmas Moose, but Nancy and Jenny of the Bougie Stitchers, they named Marty. So here we are, and he's my precipitation stitch, so I'm supposed to be stitching on him whenever we have precipitation. So I did get a good bit done. I finished filling in all of this area here and started working up this side of his nose. So who knows? maybe this year he'll see some more action. And, you know, he's so fun. He's so fun. Speaking of Jenny and Nancy, I want to say shout out, congratulations to Jenny. So Jenny is going to be opening an LNS in Wyoming. She is called the Cross Stitch Emporium, and she's going to start off online while they're, I believe, constructing a building for her LNS to live in. And so that's really fun. I teasingly messaged Jenny and Stacy from Thread the Needle Stitchery. She's also, congratulations to Stacy. She's in Greenville, Tennessee now, and she is opening an LNS as well. She's right next to a quilt shop, a lucky girl, and her husband's been working like crazy, you know, fixing the floors and all of these things, and I'm very excited for her family. So I messaged them and I was like, well, are we like the class of 2025 LNSs? So it's been nice to get to chat with both of them and bounce ideas off of each other and ask questions. Stacy's had, if you don't know, Stacy has had an online store for a few years and actually just moved to Tennessee. I guess it was probably last year from Florida. And so she's got her feet more wet than Jenny and I do as far as actually running an LNS. She's just been online until this point. So she'll have her own brick and mortar very soon. I believe they're going to try to open right after market. So congratulations if you just... everyone has been so supportive and sweet, and I just appreciate it. And go check them out and show them some love, because they're hustling too, you know, they're hustling too. Okay, so I'm almost done. I did get, I think, a little bit of work done on my Mermaid of the Pearls. I'll put a picture of her up here. She's an out of print Mirabilia that I would like to get done this year. I do Mira Monday stitching, which is hosted by my friend Lisa, Cross by Floss, and then my friend Allie Z is Crafty. She had the great idea, why don't I focus on my Mermaid of the Pearls? She's going to focus on her Mermaid Lilith of Labrador, and we're going to do this on Mondays. So I did get a little bit more stitches in on Mermaid of the Pearls. I think I was just pretty much working up in this area here. So nothing major, but progress is progress. I'm stitching her on a piece of 32 count Kelpie by Leslie's Under the Sea Fabrics. Yeah, I love her. And I'm using called for DMC. I think there's some, yep, there's some Krynics that are called for. I haven't stitched with any of them yet. And lots of beads. She is one of the most heavily beaded mermaids. She's out of print. You can find her still sometimes. She's not like the most expensive out of print. But she's one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, I think that's all the stitching I got done. So let's talk about the giveaway. And see, when you come back every 2 weeks, you don't wait a month or 6 weeks. You can get stuff done faster, right? Okay. And that's one thing too. I will plan to come back more frequently. I don't know if I'm going to be filming from here or I'm going to be filming from the shop, or if it's going to be a mix of both, or however my day works out. If it's going to depend on how much stitching I got done or how much stuff I have to carry, you know, we're just going to go with the flow and see how it all shakes out. I will, though, the main purpose of this channel is going to remain for me to share my personal stitching with you all and all of the things I love so much about cross stitch. I will have a portion of the FlossTube, just like an update about what's going on in the shop or what the new things are. What I think I'm probably going to do is be able to, like, when I'm editing it, pay attention to where that information starts. And then I'll tell you at the beginning of the video where, like, shop information starts. So if you want to go right to the shop stuff or skip the shop stuff, however you want to work it, so you have that ease. That's my goal anyway. Okay, so I have a winner of this fantastic little caterpillar cross stitch box that was gifted to me by Sally of Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Has a great to-do list. Boy, don't I need that. And a little easel, some fun packing material, some of those cute little magnets to hold your additional fabric. And then you've got this whole kit that says, "Home is where the heart lives." Yep, and that comes with everything. It's got the Ada, the floss, a needle, a thread holder, and it looks like it has a bookmark. Yeah, so this is great. Thank you, Sally, so much for gifting this to me. I explained on my last video that I didn't really feel comfortable holding on to this when I knew I was not going to be getting to it anytime soon, and I really wanted to let somebody else stitch it and then spread that stitchy love that Sally sent to me. So the winner of this box is Sharon Williams, 6787. Sharon, I'll put your little name up here. If you'll message me on Instagram at Memphis Sarah E, or you could leave a comment in the comments. Don't say anything about when, just say like, I don't know if you can put, you really can't put your contact information in there. So if you can't do Instagram, just leave me a comment, Sharon, and say I can't do Instagram, and then we'll work it out from there. Okay, so there we go. Congratulations, Sharon. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you so I can pop that in the mail to you. All right. Oh, look, I almost forgot to put, I guess I really thought I needed that to-do list because I forgot to put it back in the box. Okay, let's see. All right, so this is kind of a fun thing. So I think it was last year. Yes, around market last year, I started this round robin with some friends. Karen of Fox and Rabbit, and Amy, the Gable Stitcher, and Julie, Kansas City Girl in the Colorado World. I had never done a round robin before, and they so graciously offered to join in on the fun and doing ink circles. So I was just like super fast trying to stitch my my chart during market last year to finish it up to give to Karen, because you know she's in Australia. But I got a wonderful package in the mail last week or two ago, full of everyone else's ink circles ready for me to stitch. So I've got 3 in here. I have Karen's, I have Julie's, and I have Amy's in here. I really did want to try to get Karen's done before market. That's not going so well. Sorry, Karen, but I will definitely be working on it and get it to her as soon as I can. I can't show them because, you know, it wouldn't be right because they haven't seen them, but they're all really fantastic and really different. I can show you the charts though. So Karen's is Reflections of Amsterdam. That's really nice. I really love the thread that we picked out for that. Or I didn't pick it out. She picked out for that. That was really nice. I think this one is Amy's. Let's see. I see Forbidden Fiber Co. fabric. Oh, Amy's doing Reflections of Ireland. It's really good. This looks like a photocopy of just the front, because just a working copy for us. So, so it wasn't messed up. But yeah, Reflections of Ireland. That one is so fun. And then Julie's, let's see. Julie's is in this cute little book bag. Of course, she's the book. Well, I mean, Amy's a book girl too, but oh, I like this one of Julie's too. Lace Flowers is the one Julie chose. So I get to work on all of these. Maybe I'll kind of focus on these this next month so I can get them moved along and we can wrap up this this stitch along. But so fun, and I like this Canadian bag that Karen's got hers in. So that was fun to get in the mail for sure. All right, I've got some, I'm gonna share some Stitchy Kindness and some Needlepoint. This is kind of a random thing I worked on, but I wanted to show you because it was fun. I saw this on Etsy, where you take one of these Cobalt little toolboxes and turn it into like one of these, like your sewing box, like a Singer sewing machine, right? And I was like, how do you even do this? So there's a place on Etsy, I'll put that in my information, that sells all of these decals, and you just put them on. Now, Cobalt is under here, and I couldn't get it off with the like fingernail polish remover. That was not happening. So I ended up taking like some cheap acrylic paint, black, and I painted a couple light coats on it. And you can't really see Cobalt, so it's not perfect. It's pretty good though. You can't really tell. I'm going to use this at the shop just for like my little toolkit up there. But I thought that was fun. And these Cobalt mini toolboxes, I got mine at Lowe's and it was like $19.99. And they have them in pink, all sorts of stuff. I guess it was kind of a thing. I guess a lot of crafters were using them. But when I saw a picture of this somewhere, I was like, I need to figure out how to do this. I'm not gonna become a professional decal person though, because I scratched the top. I did all sorts of stuff. I'm not so great at that. They're not on there perfectly straight. Not terrible, but not perfectly straight. Okay, I did a little bit of, I've got a little bit of haul and a little bit of stitchy kindness. I just got this in yesterday from Stephanie at Cross Stitch the Globe. She did this big de-stash of like a bunch of vintage patterns. It was super fun. I mean, I guess she had tons of them because she posted them on Instagram. She had like a whole YouTube thing about it. It was really fun. And yay, Stephanie, for like letting them out into the world and, you know, cleaning up your space and making yourself comfortable with what you have. Yeah, it was great. So I, of course, found some things I couldn't do without because I myself am a lover of vintage cross-stitch charts. So my husband does work out of town, and this one just spoke to me. Home Again by Leisure Arts. I really love that. I love the silhouette. Like, I love the way the trees are stitched in the background. Yeah, it's fantastic. And it says, I have to put my glasses on because it says, I hear your footsteps down the hall. You're home again and safe. All the burdens of the day are lightened, and all the night noises are music to my ears. So yeah, I love that. That was nice. And this one, oh my gosh, why did I get this one? Okay, Herald the Holidays by Leisure Arts. I'm pretty sure I got it because of that goose. Yeah, I love a Christmas goose. They're so cute. So cute. And then this one I couldn't resist. I thought it was so funny. This is by Sisters and Best Friends. It's called Merry and Bright Santa. He is, it looks like you can stitch him as a stand-up, or you can stitch him like, you know, in a frame. But what I love about it is it says, be merry and bright or else. I thought that was hilarious. Be merry and bright or else. I feel that way sometimes to my family, so Christmas is my favorite. I don't know that it's necessarily their favorite, so I feel like that sometimes. And then I saw this Prairie Schooler, Wedding and Birth Samplers too. I'd never seen this before, and I really liked it. I like that birth sampler. I love the moon and the stork on the chimney. I mean, these are really good, and I like the wedding sampler too. So, oldie but a goodie for sure. It's like a 1990 copyright, so I love that. I love that. I guess everybody's kind of excited to see what the new Prairie Schooler is going to look like. I have had some requests to bring some of those back from market, so I hope I can get my hands on a few of those for some people. Okay, this was a fun order. So Athena, Stitching Goddess Designs. Y'all know I love Athena's t-shirts. I've been ordering them for years. I like how she does like themed holiday ones for stitching, and then she had this big thing around the Super Bowl where like she opened the vault and you could get like all these past t-shirts, which I have an order coming whenever she gets to it. But you know, now that I needed new work clothes, this is like uniform, right? I can't believe that my scrubs are going to get to go to Salvation Army, and that I'd never have to wear a pair of scrubs again, I hope. But I got this one, Cross Stitch is My Love Language. So cute. And what's this one say? You can't buy happiness, but you can buy cross stitch, and that's pretty much the same thing. Yep. And what's this one say? Stitching is therapy. Yes, I love it. I love it. So thank you, Athena. I'm excited to get the rest of my other order. But yeah, this is work clothes now, right? I love it. I love it. Okay, and then, oh gosh. So this was great. I don't know, was I just talking about it on the last FlossTube about my Thomas Kincaid collection of the Disney Dreams kits that are out of print and rare and hard to find. And I had all of them except for Sleeping Beauty and then the big three. And when I say the big three, I'm talking about Winnie the Pooh, Tangled, and Beauty and the Beast 2. And I call them the big three because those are big money charts. Like thousands of dollars for those charts. I am not going to spend thousands of dollars on those charts. If I ever get my hands on one of those charts, it's going to be like I kind of lucked into it. Either somebody's selling just the chart itself really cheap, or I have a friend who has one, or I just find it in a random place, because that's not going to happen. So as far as I'm concerned, I only had one more left to collect to make my collection complete, because I'm just not counting those big three. They're just not within my... I'm not doing that. But then my friend Maggie Kitschy Whips. So Maggie and Amy and I have a little group chat at Fiber Arts Amy. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Our group chat's called the Enablers, because we're terrible enablers to each other. Terrible. Okay. And Maggie is one of those people, like, I'm telling you, if you tell Maggie you want something or you're looking for something, that girl, she finds it in like 5 seconds. Like, it can be nowhere to be found. And all of a sudden, Maggie's like, boom, here it is. And that's exactly what happened. She was looking for a Lady and the Tramp, I think. And then I was like, I'm still looking for Sleeping Beauty. And the next thing you know, boom, there's Sleeping Beauty at a reasonable price. Comparably. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. So I am glad to have that part of my collection complete. It is the whole kit. It is unopened. I probably won't use the fabric, because sometimes the fabric's wonky in these. And I would hate to get a bunch stitched and not have enough fabric. I probably will use the floss if everything... Sometimes there were a lot of production issues with these charts, like making sure that the right colors were in there and you had everything. So before I start, I will check everything, because if I need to, there are DMC conversions for these charts out there that people have worked on. And so if I need to do a conversion, I will. But first I have to finish Cinderella, and I've got like a top corner done. So this isn't happening anytime tomorrow, of course, but I have it and I'm so excited. And as far as I'm concerned, my part of collecting these is now complete. And yeah, like I said, unless one of those big three just falls in my lap, right? Okay, it looks like my last bit of no, what do we got here? Oh, this is a fabric of the month for January. It's called Lichen. It is by Under the Seas fabric. It's really pretty. Yeah. And then this was my last piece of haul. I think came in. It's by Tara, the 805 Stitcher. It is this super cute Beatrix Potter project bag. And so I got this project bag because I have a stitch along coming up with Pam of Just Keep Stitching. We are going to start a Beatrix Potter Christmas, like a vintage pattern that's Christmas, that we both have and we both love. I think we're going to do it around Christmas in July time, around Beatrix Potter's birthday, I believe. Pam's really good at finding a significant date to do a start on, and I think that's what she told me in our message. So I'd have to go back and check, but it's coming up this summer. But looky there. It's so cute. Yeah, Tara the 805 Stitcher. I love it. She's even got the owl in there. And Squirrel Nutkin. And oh, I'm a big Beatrix Potter. I'm a big Beatrix Potter fan. So I think that's all of my haul. Yes, I did have a little bit of stitchy kindness from my friend Zan. You know, Zan actually has a couple of antique vintage booths, and she's always going to estate sales or telling me where things are, and I love that same sort of thing too. So when we had our 901 stitch together the other weekend, she brought me some goodies, and she knows I love the mushrooms. So I have a punch needle kit with the mushroom, yep, and another mushroom, and she's so funny. These are cute. It's a little more mushrooms, little salt and pepper shakers. And then this was funny. So she had to tell me there was a story behind this. This is not mushroom. This is a really cute little coin purse. It's quilted. And zipper. Yeah, it's got like that cork stuff on the back. And it is by, let's see, it's an Etsy shop. I think she's got the thing in here. What is this called? She ordered this a long time ago, like last year. Oh gosh, what's the name of this? I don't know. I'll have to investigate. It says HDG on it, so if you're interested, you can maybe just search HDG on Etsy. And home dry goods. Sorry, home dry goods. Okay. So the thing was, is that she was thinking it was at Market, but now actually I'm wondering if it wasn't at Stitch New England. Whatever the case may be, but I think it might have been Market. Last year I'd spent all my money, and I was trying to, like, I was using my cash, and for some reason I kept needing quarters for like everything, you know, like whatever it was for, wherever we were at, whatever we were doing, whatever store we were at, whatever restaurant, Walmart, all the places we normally go when we go to Market. Like, I was borrowing quarters from this girl non-stop. It had to be Market. It was either Market or Stitch New England. I can't remember, but she got me a coin purse so I could bring my own quarters, I guess. That was funny. That was funny. I mean, every time I turned around, I'd be like, can I have one more quarter? Like, I wore her out. It was hilarious. Hilarious. So, thanks, Zan, for the stitchy goodies. All right, so basically, here's what's going on. I'm about to talk about needlepoint. I don't have a lot of stitchy plans right now. I want to work on those ink circles. I would like to get some more done on that spring stitch. I would love to follow my plans. I want to get bobbin finished. I have a lot of things I want to do. However, with the shop opening, I don't know how much stitching I'm going to get done. Like I said, we're going to be closed for a few weeks. I take over on Saturday. That's March 1st. So we're going to be closed for a couple weeks. If I could have all things happen the way exactly I want them to, I would love to reopen on the 15th. But that's, you know, some of that stuff's going to be out of my control. So I'll be reopening as soon as I can, and I'll do a soft opening. And I think I'm going to do some sort of grand reopening or grand opening in April. That's kind of the plan. But I have so much, you all, to get in there and get straightened out, and get arranged and organized differently. I want to change the area that we pull threads from when we're kitting things up. The other thing is that being a shop that's 30 years old, it's all on paper right now. So I have a pretty big job ahead of us to get my inventory on the computer. So my mom is coming down from Wisconsin for a couple weeks. She's going to hang out with me. We're going to make headquarters here at my house on my dining room table. We're going to be inventorying like crazy. One of my sister-in-laws, she's going to come in town for about a week to help. My family's being really, really great. Everybody's like just coming together and helping and making all of this happen. My brother, is his job. He owns his own business and he does websites and like branding for companies and all of those. So he's helping me work on signs, and he did my logo, which I love so much. It's so vintage with the needles, and it's just, it's perfect, Sam. So thank you. My brother's, company and is Dang Brand Co. And he is just, he's great. So he's been helping me with my website and all of the things, which is still under construction, y'all. And yes, someday I would like to be able to do online sales, but I definitely have got to get the shop here in town, like, just, you know, in really great shape with inventory and the supplies. And I need to make sure all of that is running tip top before I dive into online. So first things first, right? I appreciate so greatly the outpouring of love and support and excitement from this community on all of the social medias after I made the announcement. I can't tell you how much that means to me, y'all. I just can't tell you. So it's nice to have people, you know, cheering you on. I do feel like it's a very important. Our LNSs, you know, they're just not plentiful. So to me, as a stitcher, it really is important to have a local place that I can go to. And my goal for my shop is I want to really foster that sense of community within the shop, and I am going to have stitching nights and open stitching, and I just really want it to be a place where you all can come in and hang out and stitch and visit and do some shopping and have your questions answered and let me take care of the things you need. For out-of-town visitors, I'm very excited to have everybody in. I am planning to make sure that I have some fun cross stitch, needlepoint, notion sort of things, Memphis related for out of town souvenirs. And that is something that is on top of my list for my visitors. Anybody that wants to come in and stitch or come in from out of town, if you'll just reach out to me. I had a great time last month going with some girls from Mississippi that came up, that were a group that developed, and we went to lunch and everything afterwards. Now, I may not be able to join everybody for lunch anymore because I will be running the shop, but you can always order in if you want to and stay in the stitching room and stitch. I would love that. So yeah, just if you'll just follow me on all the social medias, if you want to stay up to what is going on. I want to also say a special shout out to some of my sweet friends in the stitching community, shop owners, that I've leaned on the last several months, that knew that I was working on this and kept a big secret and just were very helpful and listened. And if I have questions or were just very forthcoming with ideas and thoughts, you all are fantabulous and love you so much. So thank you to all of you. You do know who you are. Yeah, so I think that's about it for today. I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to head up to the shop. I've got the utilities coming. Why do they have to come? I don't know, because the utilities are already on, but I have to be there in this window. Maybe they're going to read the meter. I think it's a smart meter though. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just going with the flow, doing what I need to do. Yeah. Okay. So I hope you have, oh, you know what? I didn't show any needlepoint, and I do have a needlepoint. So hold on just a minute. Okay, I had a really good time at Needlepoint too. I got invited to the Stitch Club Memphis, and I went to that this past Sunday. And there's a shopping center called Chickasaw Oaks here in Memphis. There are some great stores in there. There's this place called Avenue Wrapping. That's Vanessa. She actually hosted us in like her upstairs space, which was so cute and fun. And then next door is a store called Stitching Supply. They do carry yarn. There's a lot of yarn because they do a lot of knitting and crochet. They did have a section for cross stitch because she does have some overlap there. I got to meet her. She's Erica. She's very nice, and some other stitchers sitting at the table. They were knitting or crocheting or doing something that I can't do. And then there was another shop in there that just opened called Heirloom House, and they sell really, really neat vintage antique stuff with some Memphis twists on it. So I did get to go see them the other day, but I had a great time at Stitch Club. Thank you to everybody who was so welcoming to me at Stitch Club Memphis for Needlepoint. I loved hearing from them what they were looking for and needing in the shop. I barely got any stitching done while I was talking to them, but I have this little chart here, this little needlepoint. This is a Disney duck. If you're not really familiar with that, so at Disney World, there are these little ducks and ducklings, and we call them Disney ducks because pretty much once they get there and they're in those lakes, they just stay there, you know. So this is a cute little Disney duck. I did his ears in Very Velvet, and then I actually had done the brown stitching in a pearl cotton, and it was a number 3 pearl cotton, and I didn't like it, so I ripped it all out. And then I used some really pretty silk and ivory which is like silk and wool blend for the background, because I thought water, right? And I started off with a vertical stitch, and when I did the vertical stitch, you could really still see the white canvas behind my vertical stitches. So I was thinking, what do I need to do? So a diagonal stitch covers better, and you can already see it's covering better. Yeah, so I'm doing a diagonal Scotch stitch, or a diagonal, no, it's called Scotch over 4 is what I'm doing up here. Yeah. So it's covering well. I'm not going to have to paint this blue or anything wild like that. And I will get back to work on that at some point. I like this one. maybe I'll be able to go to, Stitch Club is on Sunday nights, so I will hopefully be able to go to that in the future. And then, or Sunday afternoons. And then I took with me, this is that sweater weather bag. I took with me this chart that I got from Rittenhouse Needlepoint up in Philly when I went up to Colleen's sweater weather retreat in the fall. It's a Reading Terminal Market chart that I bought for a souvenir. And I was kind of trying to get some feedback and opinions on what kind of stitch to do for the background. That black on black's got me a little bit shy to get started on that, y'all. So I need to find a good stitch for that. And then I have some really pretty silk lame braids I'm going to use for it. And then these colors are kind of wild, so I'm using neon rays. Yeah, and I haven't started it yet because I need to decide on the stitch, but it's percolating. It's percolating. Okay, so that really is everything. Sorry, I can't believe I almost forgot my needlepoint. My needle pointers out there. I do really love the needlepoint, and I love seeing what everybody's working on and all of the beautiful fibers. It's so much fun, all of that floss. All right, so I think that really is it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day or night, whichever it may be. Enjoy your stitching, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.